Hey y'all, it's Elisha and welcome back to Elisha's Crafty Hoplop. It is Tuesday, y'all, and we did have quite a storm last night. Oh, and there is my coffee beeping. If you're new here, that's a pretty common sound around the Hoplop. I constantly have coffee or Diet Coke. Today my coffee is in my no, it's in my Wizard of Oz cup today. It says we're off to see the wizard, as you can see. Sometimes I drink it out of my Alice cup, sometimes out of my Wizard of Oz cup. So y'all, it is Tuesday, and we did have the beginning of the storm last night. It was pretty intense. There was massive hail, even in our little courtyard. I'm pretty well protected because I'm in an interior courtyard, but we had like golf ball size hail yesterday evening, and we had a tornado warning, which in Brooklyn we don't usually take too seriously because really, it doesn't happen here too often in the last 50 years, but they had warning after warning yesterday. Now they're saying we're now on a short break, so if we want to run to the store, now is the time to do it, but that the storm is going to resurge again by tomorrow. And they did warn us about power outages. I know MJ had it. I actually got this doohickey at the dollar store, and I have regular flashlights, y'all, but let me show you what this is. It's actually kind of a cool product that the dollar store carries. So on one end it's like a flashlight, as you can see, but on this end it's actually like a lantern light that's really strong. So it's actually better than a flashlight in an emergency because it lights up a room. So I got a couple of these for like the living room and the bedroom in case we lose power. But just that I would draw your attention to it in case it's available at your stores. At our store it was like $3 or $4 to get one of these, and they're pretty handy, and they just run on batteries, y'all. And then I restocked all of our flashlights with batteries, got out my candles just in case. So I'm kind of prepped, but I know MJ was saying it was really hot because clearly without power you don't have AC or a fan. So just reminding all of you to prep who are in the eastern zone in case you are hit by any of the after effects of the tropical storm / hurricane, because we want everyone to be as safe as they can be. I also just want to do a public service announcement. So you all know that my staff at my post office did you see the flickering lights? That was a loss of power temporarily. We are having a COVID issue at our post office, y'all. So 3 out of our 5 clerks have tested positive for COVID. We are on a skeleton staff right now at that post office. So anyone who is getting mail from me, and I could list all the mail that went out, but anyone who receives a package from me, do me a favor. Don't put it somewhere to be disinfected for 72 hours, not just the 48, just as an extra precaution. And if you have any kind of disinfectant, spray the outside of the packages, y'all. Because unfortunately that mail was processed during the contagion period of COVID. And they just told me that yesterday. So I did email some people directly to let them know that people, for instance, like my die cut swap partner, my newbie swap partner, Erica, I want them to know that 1, mail is delayed, and 2, that unfortunately their packages were handled during this contagion period. It's very important that we're upfront and honest with each other, because if we take the right precautions, that mail will still be safe. But because we don't know how long things live on packages, they say now only 9 hours, but we're not sure. Because we're not sure, please do keep anything you get from me in the disinfectant box for 72 hours. Some people asked me if I got mail. I went and I checked because it showed delivered on their end. And as we know from Ebony, just because they say it was delivered doesn't mean it was. But I have a special surprise that came from Cynthia Aguilar, and it is here. And a special surprise from Misty. It is here, but y'all, I can't take it out. Because again, this mail was processed during the COVID contagious period. So I need it to stay where it is until I can safely take it out. I am going to share some happy mail that I was able to unpackage because it stayed in the bin long enough. Right now, we in New York, in the New York area, meaning like Alicia Hayes, Sunshine Honeybees, Lanny, we have to be careful again. The fact that 3 of our postal workers got COVID, that's our first sign here that numbers are spiking. And then sure enough, we got a report yesterday that said it was true. But I had already guessed, y'all, because as soon as our post office gets sick, Here, that's our first warning. So we're not sure if it's wave 2 or a bounce back from wave 1. We're assuming it's the start of wave 2. So I'm going to just suggest to everybody in the New York area and just outside, like Long Island, anyone in New York State, please start taking extra precautions again. Be super vigilant. Don't line up in places with crowds of people. Don't stand near anyone without a mask. And make sure you're disinfecting everything, washing your hands regularly as often as you can. Don't answer your door without a mask on. Just practice a lot of safe care. You know, from what we've learned from China and the Middle East, round 2 is less serious, meaning less people have ended up in intensive care, but for some reason it's more contagious and they don't know why. So while it's not as deadly in terms of how it's affecting people, it's seriously contagious, round 2. So please do a little extra work to keep yourself safe. I'm doing this as a public service announcement, and also just because I happen to have mailed out a lot of stuff, and I want to make sure all of you know to practice safe mail handling when any of my mail arrives, please. It's me trying to be as upfront with you as possible. It was handled during a COVID contagion period in the post office. I'm sorry I have to make this video, y'all. It's not the kind of video I like making, but it's an important one because it could be potentially life-saving, y'all. I'm also, it makes me a little leery about sending anything out because I would feel terrible if I mailed something to someone's home and they contract COVID. So I am going to support things that are in envelopes, you know, like Kathy's sequins mix for her 1K challenge. But y'all, I'm just going to ask that any mail you get from me, please put somewhere for 72 hours. And if you have Microban or sprayed Clorox or whatever else, just spray it on the outside of the package just to be sure, okay? All right, y'all. I'll be back on later today with happier things like what we're making for our live this week and also some mail. But this was an important announcement and a responsible one, y'all. We got to be as responsible as we can be. Thanks so much, y'all. Wishing for you a happy and a healthy and a creative day. And I'll see y'all real soon. Bye for now.